In the presence of children, there is energy and there's so much of godliness. I wish all the children a very happy Children's Day and to say, you are our future. You are our love. You are our investment. May God bless you. Have a very happy Children's Day.
I love you too. I love you. I love you. Yeah, like
चाचा नेहरू का बच्चों से बहुत पुराना नाता, जन्म दिवस चाचा नेहरू का बाल दिवस कहलाता। चाचा नेहरू का बच्चों से बहुत पुराना नाता, जन्म दिवस चाचा नेहरू का बाल दिवस कहलाता। बाल दिवस, ये है चिल्ड्रंस डे, ये है बाल दिवस, ये है चिल्ड्रंस डे।
According to Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, the children of today will make the India of tomorrow. The way we bring them up will determine the future of our country. Children's Day is celebrated for the welfare and the right of education towards children. Chacha Nehru believed that the children will make the future of our country. So we should nurture them and educate them with care. Because of his love and care towards children, his birthday is celebrated as Children's Day. Thank you.
जय धारी माँ, हमारी ऑडियंस का स्वागत है। सारे बच्चों का खूब सारा स्वागत है विद अ बिग वार्म हग। बस खूब खुश रहो, हंसते खेलते रहो। माधारी ब्लेस यू ऑल। मम्मी आप लेट्स स्टार्ट द प्रोग्राम, आप इनको ब्लेस करें। उसके बाद दे मेड अ फ्यू वीडियोस, वो देखेंगे एंड देन वी विल स्टार्ट द इंटरेक्शन।
Yeah, wishing you all children a very happy your day. It's your day. Children's Day is your day. Happy Children's Day. Go ahead.
जी, तो वीडियोस देखते हैं। यू नो द वीडियोस आर वेरी वेरी ब्यूटीफुल बिकॉज they've spoken about what they want to see in the world, and it's very heartwarming to see how they're thinking. It's very nice to see how they're thinking. Ji.
Let's see what they're thinking.
Yes.
The one change that I would like to see in the world is an increased sense of love and affection towards the stray animals. Charles Darwin has rightly said, the love of all living beings is the most noble attribute of all humans. We are grateful to have a roof over our head, food in our plate. We can ask for help when we need it, and we can express our pain. But these poor creatures are at the mercy of God. So let us take up their cause and take care of them. Let's nurture them and help them. Let's be kind to them, especially in the time of these festivities. This is the one change that I would like to see in the world. Thank you.
Have you ever thought about how our Earth has changed and transformed from its birth? From decades and centuries, our Earth is being destroyed slowly, and we are the reason behind it. Did we ever stop and take a look back about all the destruction we caused? Well, few people like Wangari Maathai and Sundar Lal Bahuguna did. Wangari Maathai is one of the iconic change-maker who inspired me. She is the first black woman to win a Nobel Peace Prize. She started the iconic Green Belt movement, which encouraged the women in her land, Kenya, to plant trees and change their livelihood. She changed the life of millions of women in her land, Kenya. She made me stop and think about what I was doing to protect our environment. Let me check this.
సరే
Namaskar. The change that I want to see in the world today is not a revolutionary one, but is the very essence of our existence, the revival of our cultural traditions and values. For example, our joint family system, so that I can listen to my grandmother's fun fable tales that I enjoy the most. The education in Gurukul among the mother nature, pleasant weather, clear sky, whispering winds. And in this stressful and rushed life, knowing about moksha and nirvana, which are the true goals of human life. And how can we forget eating on palm leaves with our hands sitting on ground? This is the perfect meal I could ever have, and many more such lovely and lively family moments that I would cherish and I miss today.
खुश रहो जी 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 मम्मी नाउ
We have more. Let's have more. Let's have children.
चिल्ड्रन तो अब ज्वाइन करेंगे वीडियोस इतने थे आप बात करें उनसे दे इंटरेक्ट विद
Let the children ask me a question.
यस
Let the children ask me a question. Let the children come back. Ask a question. Raise
No.
their hand and
No,
ask
they
a
are.
question.
here they are so let them raise their hand and ask
Raise their hand and ask a question. Make it conversational.
yes
Yeah.
जी
Any child, ask a
Wants
question.
to
Or
ask.
the child wants to say something. Go ahead. Raise your hand. Let's bring the gallery.
Okay, we'll start with a question till their question comes. I'll ask you. You tell us a very, very special, fond memory of your childhood.
My childhood was full of joy, full of love, activities, playing with my sisters, cycling around, playing tennis, being with mama, daddy, sitting on the floor and eating, listening to them, hugging my mom, all this, fighting with my younger sister over the clothes we will choose to wear, shoes we will wear because we were very close to each other's age. It was so much of fun. Now we don't fight, means now you've grown up, you don't fight. Don't fight, but the little fight which you have as little children, as friends, as sisters, is great fun. Those are the memories. So let's see.
What was your favorite color when you were a baby? Abhi the hand jab raise hoga, they'll ask you, till then I'll continue asking. What was your favorite color? Do you remember in school?
My favorite color was polka dots and checks. I used to love polka dots and
color.
polka dots and checks. Could be all any color. So I used to love polka dots and checks. I still do.
You still do? You still do? Okay. Mummy, we can also ask Shivani, Shakira and Sujata something sweet about their childhood.
Okay, go ahead. Shivani, your turn.
Shivani, something very sweet when you were a child.
Till children raise their hand and we'll see.
They're
who.
thinking about a question for
Go
Mummy
ahead.
till then.
So no lectures today. It's all about recalls and to the
Yes.
point. Shivani, your turn. And then it's Shakira's turn.
2 children have raised their hands. So after that, we come to Adya and
Okay.
Abhyani.
Shivani,
Okay.
quickly your turn.
Shivani, something about your childhood when you were a baby child.
Something about my childhood was that I was always very, very frank and outspoken, and I would openly tell people, मेरी मम्मी ने ये बोला घर में, मेरी पापा ने ये बोला. So it would sometimes even embarrass my parents. That happened very, very often. So that's the way I was as a child. But so other than that, I don't remember too much of my childhood or any memories as such. And I was the younger one at home. My sister is 7 years elder than me. So that age gap was a lot. And I used to see that she was being allowed to go for movies and lunches. And I would say, why am I not being allowed? And I would try and tag along with her and make things difficult for her, not realizing that, a few years down the line, I'm going to be of the same age and have the same freedom. Even now, when I was with her a few months ago. I was telling her that I said I still remember how I tagged along with you everywhere, and I just insisted that I'm going to go with her. Those are part of my childhood.
Okay. Lovely. Now, Shakira ma'am will tell you about her being a baby. Before that, I want to tell all of you something that our Surya Kala Didi has got married. So we all are going to say congratulations to her also later on. Okay? She's got happily blessed. She's got happily married. Okay. Now, Shakira ma'am, you're being a baby.
Shakira was never a baby. She was always the way she is.
I'm still a baby.
Shakira is insisting on being a baby today, on being a child today.
Okay. Tell
Okay.
us.
But I remember, I think childhood memories, what's very strong is holidays together with the family and train journeys in particular. I love the train journey, and more than the destination, it was the preparation and the journey, sitting in the train and looking out of the windows and hearing the stories, our parents telling us about the stories of the various places that we were passing. So that is childhood. Other than that, I remember being a tomboy, and I wanted to play all the games that girls normally didn't, like football. So the boys used to push me out. So I used to fight. So those are very strong childhood memories.
Lovely.
Fighting to play.
Okay, great.
Okay. And now we also always pray for Shakira ma'am's good health. Okay. For all the love she gives all of you, and for all the love Shivani ma'am gives all of you. Okay. Now, Sujata Didi, you want to come on?
Sujata is the baby of the team.
She's still our baby.
Yeah.
Okay.
Actually, I'm having cough, so
You
can
just
you
give
just
up
give me 2
sweetly.
minutes?
I know
Yes.
this was a surprise for all of you, but अब spontaneous हो गया अब वो. चलो बताओ.
Eight line.
Yes, ma'am. So, what I remember is after coming from school, every day we used to cycle with our neighborhood kids. We used to come together and we used to cycle together, which I don't see nowadays with everybody. Like they stay inside and they don't come out. Even if I go back home, now the kids in my neighborhood, they don't come out together and play. But I remember as a child, we used to always come together, cycle, play, sometimes in our home, sometimes in somebody else's home. So that is one of my fondest memories as a child that I really miss seeing in nowadays.
Yeah.
Let's love.
Sumit
Sumit
also has.
का है हमारा. हाँ. Where is the Sumit?
Sumit.
सुमित भैया आप हो कि बाद में आओगे?
Yes, ma'am. I'm
हाँ
here.
चलो आप बताओ, जब आप बेबी के बच्चे थे तो क्या मेमोरी है?
So, मैम हम लोग क्या थे कि पहले बचपन वाले टाइम पे हमारे एरिया में लाइट काफी जाती थी इवनिंग वाले टाइम पे.
अच्छा.
सो हम 7-8 एक एज के थे, हम सारे दोस्त. हम लोग जब लाइट जाती तो हम लोग सारे स्ट्रीट में इकट्ठे होते थे अपनी अपनी गली में, एंड देन वी प्ले छुपन छुपाई, हाइड एंड सीक.
लवली.
एंड जैसे ही लाइट आ जाती थी तो सारे के सारे अपने अपने घर भाग जाते थे. तो जो ढूंढ रहा होता था वो बेचारा कंफ्यूज हो जाता था, फिर वो ढूंढ ही नहीं पाता था किसी को भी, सारे अपने अपने घर में रहते थे. तो
Wonderful.
ये मेमोरी मेरे लिए सबसे ज्यादा मेमोरेबल यही है अभी तक के लिए.
वेरी नाइस. चलो जी, थैंक यू. तो अब आपने सुन लिया सबकी
और
चाइल्ड.
तो अब तुम्हारी, व्हाट अबाउट यू?
मेरी बारी.
Yes.
फिर मैं अभी याद करके सब बताती हूँ. मेरी लिस्ट बड़ी लंबी है. एक तो मैं ना जय माता दी बहुत जोर से बोलती थी when I was small, and I was always fond of bangles even as a little baby. तो दिल्ली में जो हमारा हनुमान मंदिर है, जब हम वहां जाते थे, the first thing I used to buy is bangles and a red chunni. So I used to do that. Then when mummy used to take me to the Gurdwara, I used to stand in the Kada Prasad line 3-4 times to eat the Kada Prasad. I also remember mummy carrying a dono of the Prasad, और वो मैंने खा लिया. Mummy had to go back and take the dono of the Kada Prasad. Acha, then my dolls. I had so many dolls, and each one of them was so precious to me. I used to look after them more than anything else. Then, mummy's uniform. Mummy's uniform is so, मेरी आंखों में बसा हुआ है, क्योंकि जब वो घर आते थे ना शाम को, तो यहाँ पे माँ की कृपा से सारे स्टार्स लगे होते थे ना बच्चों, यहाँ स्टार्स, यहाँ पे पॉकेट। तो जब मैं वाज वेरी स्मॉल, जब मैं बहुत छोटी बेबी थी, तो मम्मी के पॉकेट में हैंकी होता था, तो फिर मैं उसको निकालती थी ऐसे, फिर मैं वो स्टार्स के ऊपर रख के फिर ऐसे हग करती थी, क्यों वो स्टार्स चुभते थे। वो मुझे याद है। फिर जो हमारे पूरे घर की, जो हमारी एक्सटेंडेड फैमिली ना, जो हमारी बेस है, फाउंडेशन है, वो इतने प्यार से हमारा ध्यान रखते हैं। जो सारे बच्चे होते थे ना, मैं उनके साथ मिलके ईंटों का चूल्हा बनाती थी और उसपे हम आलू की सब्जी बनाते थे। फिर मुझे तो सब कुछ याद आई जा रहा है। फिर हम स्टापू खेलते थे बहुत सारा। मम्मी, डू यू रिमेम्बर अशोका रोड के घर पे, रोड पे चौक से स्टापू बना बना के, और इतनी अच्छा मेरे पास वो होता था डिस्क, पॉलिश डिस्क, स्टापू खेलते थे। Then I remember my father coming, whenever he would come over the weekend, I would stand there with the shaving brush and lather it all over. I remember when I would go to Amritsar, मेरे जो बीजी हैं, मेरे जो दादी माँ हैं, उन्होंने क्रेप्टन बिस्किट खिलाना, आलू पूड़ी खिलाना, बादाम का शरबत पिलाना, और नारंगी लगी होती थी हमारे घर में वो। आई रिमेम्बर बड़े मामा, हम ना रात को खाना नीचे बैठ के खाते थे सारे। आई रिमेम्बर द मटर चावल का कुकर कमिंग राइट इमीडिएटली घर पर नीचे, एंड वी वुड ऑल सिट इन अ सर्कल, ऐसे चौकड़ी मार के, और हम वो खाते थे। आई रिमेम्बर माय पापा, I remember my grandfather, mummy's daddy. You know what he did? He would at 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock heat. I was small. I had not gained my height at that point because I had nephritis at that point. So I was very roly-poly. And he would take me to the tennis court, and then he would say that whosoever wins the last point will get 10 paise. So my piggy bank was full of those coins because I used to win the last point. I used to save the best for last. And I would hit the ball, my backhand and my forehand, and win that 10 paise and make sure I get it when I remember his red Maruti. I remember his red Maruti. Children, you will have me all with melted kajal today. So I'm going to stop with Ma's Kripa. I remember all this, and there's lots more next time. But I see a lot of raised hands. So let's begin with, you've got time to think for your questions. Okay. Adya. Yes, Mummy. So we start with their questions.
Go ahead.
Yes.
Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am, for making our day so special. Ma'am, our question to you is, what was your favorite gift in your childhood?
Gift? Mummy, what was your favorite gift?
I think it was a sweet. It was called milk cake. I used to love milk cake or a white rasgulla. I used to love that.
You still do.
You still do.
You
I
still
still
do.
Yeah. Milk cake and a white paneer, the Bengal rasgulla, paneer rasgulla. That was my favorite.
Rasgulla.
Yeah, rasgulla.
Mama,
That is my favorite.
not milk cake to you liked, but you liked chhena murgi.
And chana murgi. So these were 3 delicious sweets I used to have. That was my favorite.
Yes.
Yes, Adya?
Yes.
Ma'am, from your stories, we came to know that your childhood was very wonderful.
Yes.
Everybody's child is wonderful. Childhood is wonderful. Child is full of wonder. That's why it's called wonderful. It's full of wonder. Because you're always wondering.
For
You're
your
always, yeah, go ahead.
Ma'am, I have also a question for you.
Yes. Ask bache.
Ma'am, what was your favorite holiday destination in your childhood?
Mommy. Masuri.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Missouri Hills. Yeah.
Masuri Hills, Savoy Hotel, because it had the loveliest tennis courts, and my grandfather used to play tennis there, and they used to play tennis matches there.
Yeah. Missouri was her
Missouri.
favorite.
Ma'am,
Was a
I will
favorite.
also go there in my holidays.
Okay. Very sweet.
Okay. Next.
Next, who's next, bacha? Okay, हाँ, Kumar ask bache. Kumar Ashutosh ask
Ma'am,
bache.
thank you for your wishes.
Thank you, Mithu.
Okay.
Kumar ask.
So Bhavya, your question, your comment. Bhavya, your turn.
भाव्या को पूछते हैं, भाव्या.
Good evening, ma'am.
Go ahead.
Ma'am, I wanted to ask that what do you miss the most about your childhood?
My parents.
Yes.
And what
I-
was the most fun part about being a child for you?
Was being home. You know, I think it's very good. If you're all listening, children, what we as grown up now, what do we miss is exactly where you are. So this is to let you know what we miss now, you're already there. So therefore,
Yes.
love it the most. Like I say, I love being home. I love being with my parents. I love being with my family. Now it's gone, whereas you are in it. So therefore, when you grow up, make the most of this time, because you will also miss it one day.
Yes, ma'am. I also love spending my vacations with my cousins and being with my family.
Yes.
Yes.
And being home, being with your parents, eating with them, enjoying with them. That's the memory. Cherish it, because this will one day become the past. Like it has become the past for us. Yours is the present. So therefore, enjoy every minute of it. Don't let it go waste.
Yes, ma'am.
Next.
Mummy, I have so many memories coming to my mind. I remember the train ride to Amritsar to visit Abu, and the bed that we used to pack.
Hold on.
Yes,
Hold on.
we used to pack that. I remember you getting the gallantry award. I remember the frocks that you used to buy for me, 10 frocks of the same color, the same design. I remember being forced for a haircut when my hair had not even grown enough, but we had to go for a haircut. I remember Chanakyapuri haircut. Oh my God, this is more like a children's day for me. Chanakyapuri, the Gymkhana Club.
The hairdresser. Yeah.
That was the treat. The Gymkhana Club was our treat.
Hmm.
The
Yes.
Lodi Garden walks.
Yes.
I have to tell the children this. I have to tell you. I'm sorry I'm interrupting, but I have to tell you this. We used to stay in Ashoka Road. And as I told you, I was very roly-poly. So Mummy decided that I had to run. I had to jog. So Mummy had a lovely bicycle. And that is how I learned how to cycle. So we had 2 cycles. We both used to cycle to Rajpath. And who would accompany us? We had a very sweet, bless her soul, doggy. Her name was Candy. So Mummy used to hold her Imagine in one hand. Early in the morning we used to go and cycle. And I used to be there. And it was a sight. We would park at Rajpath. And I had to jog. So there are moments when I felt Mummy's hand on my back because I refused to run. Mummy would push me and then I would jog. and then come back home. Okay, so when I remember another thing, I'll tell you. Okay, Unnati. Unnati, Pita,
Yes, ma'am. Good evening, ma'am.
good evening. Good evening.
Ma'am, my question to you is that when we are living today in this competitive world, what happened to you in your childhood? Did you enjoy your childhood, or you were also focused on doing all those studies and like sort of bend in this competitive world only, not enjoying our childhood to the fullest? Because that is happening to us right now. We're unable to enjoy our childhood. We're just focused like to do this, to do that, and to become successful. That's all. What's your take on this or advice to us?
There was the joy in doing. Of course, I was, but at that time, there was no anxiety to become an IPS officer and to pass the UPSC examination. That was not the worry. I think the joy of being home, the joy of studying, the joy of schooling, the love of reading books, playing competitive tennis, traveling was all in the present. There was no worry for the future. We were enjoying the moment of whatever we were doing. That was the joy of it. It was not with a worry कि मैं जीतूंगी कि नहीं, मैं पास हो जाऊंगी कि नहीं, नंबर आएंगी कि नहीं, ऐसा कुछ नहीं था. ऐसा नहीं मेरी वरी थी. सो आई थिंक ये मेरा मैसेज आपको आज चिल्ड्रंस डे में है कि इस वक्त जो भी कर रहे हो उसको खूब एंजॉय करो, बिकॉज ये मोमेंट चला जाना है. और मेहनत का फल जरूर आएगा. सो मेहनत को एंजॉय करो. मैं यही कहूंगी, मेहनत को एंजॉय करो. मेहनत का फल आएगा. मेहनत कभी फल नहीं वेस्ट, मेहनत कभी खाली नहीं जाती. ये लॉ ऑफ नेचर है. ये गॉड्स ग्रेस नहीं है, ये मेहनत का फल है. ये आपने फल, अगर बीज बोया है तो बीज फूटेगा, क्योंकि बीज को आप रोज मेहनत दे रहे हो. सो ये कुदरत का नियम है. सो कुदरत का नियम ये है कि जो बच्चे अपनी छोटी उम्र में मेहनत करते हैं, सही लगन से करते हैं और सही मूल्यों से रहते हैं, माँ बाप की कदर करते हैं, सीखते हैं, वो फल खाते हैं, उनको फल मिलता है.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Lovely. अच्छा, Vanshika.
Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening.
Ma'am, my question is that which festival or event used to excite you the most during your childhood? Like for me, it's my birthday, which excites me the most for the whole year. So, any event or festival that used to excite you in your
Always,
childhood?
it was always Diwali. Diwali has been our, I think, the most revered festival, which involves everybody. Everybody. So the whole neighborhood, the whole community, the whole country, everybody. So Diwali is always, I think, the peak of the festival for us all Indians, as it was for me.
Yes. I had a lovely uncle, Chabra uncle. Chabra uncle, Ma bless him. Ma bless his soul. He would pamper me for all birthdays and all Diwalis with so much of care. I am remembering so much right now.
So you were calling him Chabla uncle. You could not call him Chabla. You used to say Chabla. Chabla uncle. Because he used to bring you a lot of crackers from Sadar Bazaar.
Now we can't. So
yeah. Okay, good. Now Ishwani, Ishanvi. Okay, Ishanvi, carry on. PRS 23. Go ahead.
Good evening, ma'am. Ma'am, in our culture, teachers are often referred to as our second mothers. Occasionally, a student forms a profound connection with a particular teacher, viewing them as a guru and holding them in high esteem. While some may dismiss this connection as infatuation, I perceive it as a genuine expression of love and respect. What is your perspective on such student-teacher bonds?
Oh, it's very natural. It's a guru shishya parampara. तो ये परंपरा हमारे संस्कारों में. सो गुरु शिष्य परंपरा, जिस टीचर को आप फिर आदर करने लग जाते हैं, वो आपके लिए गुरु बन जाते हैं. It's like a spiritual mother. So guru shishya parampara is not an infatuation, it's a devotion.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Naman, Vita, Naman.
Naman.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning.
Ma'am, I am from Jharkhand. Ranchi. Ma'am, it has been long for which we have assembled together to celebrate Children's Day with you, ma'am.
Yes.
Ma'am, mostly I would like to thank you for providing us with good morning nutrition all the day, which boosts my energy and confidence throughout the day. Ma'am, thank you, ma'am, and happy Children's Day with these words, ma'am.
थैंक यू बेटा, थैंक यू नमन. आई एम सो हैप्पी आप मॉर्निंग न्यूट्रिशन पढ़ते हो और उसको सुनते हो. ये आपके लिए पर्ल्स है. ये आपको शिवानी मॉर्निंग डिस्ट्रीब्यूट करती है. मैं
Yes,
शिवानी को रात को भेजती हूँ मॉर्निंग न्यूट्रिशन, रात को भेज देती हूँ, उस सुबह उठते ही आपको भेजती है. सो वो सिर्फ ये ताकि जब आप मॉर्निंग उठो, अपना फोन खोलो, आपको मॉर्निंग में नया विचार, न्यू आइडिया और न्यूट्रिशन मिलेगी. दैट्स व्हाई इट्स कॉल्ड द मॉर्निंग न्यूट्रिशन. आप आगे उसको पढ़ो, ध्यान से याद रखो और आगे फॉरवर्ड करो, उसको याद भी करो. These become your ideas then, because they all become part of your essays writing, your declarations, your speaking engagements. ये आपको बहुत काम आएगा.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Blessed. अच्छा, हरिता बेटा.
Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening, Harita.
Ma'am, I want to ask you a question that what's something that you had known already or done when you were younger, when you were in young age?
I think when you, Harita, it's a good question. जब आप बड़े होते हो तो आपको समझ आ जाती है कि एंगर नहीं होता. अगर आपको पता हो कि एंगर है, तो फिर वो एंगर नहीं रहता है. एंगर तो ही होता है जब आपको पता ही नहीं है कि एंगर हो रहा है. क्योंकि मोमेंट यू नो यू आर एंग्री, you are not angry. You are saying something, but you're not out of control. Anger is something which you are literally out of control and you say what you want to say. But the moment you know you are angry, you say, but you're not angry. So anger comes out of lot of not aware what you're doing. जैसे कोई एंगर में कुछ तोड़ फोड़ता है, बोलता है, गलत शब्द बोलता है, क्योंकि उसको समझ नहीं है, वो भूल गया है वो क्या बोल रहा है. लेकिन जब उसको समझ आती वो नहीं बोलता है. सो मेरी लाइफ में भी यही है. आई डोंट रिमेम्बर कि मैं कभी गलत तरीके से एंगर हुई हूं. If I was angry like in my job, in my service, I think I was sometimes irrationally angry also, but I think I was probably angry on my sister or my mummy. I think you could be irrationally angry only on your own family, not outside. But outside, if I was angry, I was aware. लेकिन घर में गुस्सा आ गया, मम्मी ने मुझे ये नहीं दिया, मम्मी ने मुझे ये खिलाया नहीं, या मम्मी ने मुझे, तो आप प्यार वाले पर ही ऐसा गुस्सा करते हो. लेकिन वो प्यार का गुस्सा होता है. प्यार की एक्सपेक्टेशन होती है तो आप गुस्से से करते हो, फिर गुस्से से रोने भी लग जाते हो. और सो आई थिंक इट्स अ चाइल्डिश एंगर. I've had many childish angers with my mother. और फिर रूठ जाते हैं, नहीं बात करना. सिस्टर से एंग्री, मैं तेरे से कुट्टी, इट्स लाइक मैं तेरे से बात ही नहीं करूंगी. दैट इज एंगर. सो एंगर के बड़े रूप होते हैं जब आप छोटी उम्र में. या
Ma'am, I have another question for you. What piece of advice you would give for your younger self?
मैं वो सभी को देना चाहती थी आज इन द एंड ऑफ द शो, बट आई गिव इट यू राइट नाउ दैट यू आस्क्ड मी. जो मैंने बाद में सीख रही हूँ बड़े होके, वो ये है कि हम लोग मशीन जैसे उठते हैं, सो जाते हैं, भागते हैं, खेलते हैं, पढ़ते हैं, थक के सो जाते हैं, खाते हैं, लड़ते हैं, सब कुछ करते हैं. लेकिन एक चीज अगर हम लोग छोटी उम्र में आदत डाल लें, जो आपको सारी उम्र बड़ी ग्रो करेगी, वो है रात को सोने से पहले एकदम नहीं सोना है. या उठना है तो एकदम उठ के भागना नहीं है. चाहे उठने वक्त या सोने वक्त क्वाइटली बैठो कुछ मिनट के लिए. अपने आप को ध्यान दो. अपने आप से पूछो आज मेरा दिन कैसा रहा. इट्स लाइक अ सेल्फ इंट्रोस्पेक्शन. That is what I would give this message to all of you Children's Day, on this Children's Day, that before you sleep, give yourself a little introspection. And if you're dog tired, you don't even know बात करते करते ही लेट के सो गए, तो जब सुबह उठो तब आपने थोड़ा सा मिनट के आलती पालती लगाओ बेड पे, हो मैं गलत है, उठ गई, स्कूल लेट हो गया, भागे, तो आप भाग जाओगे। बट अगर एक हैबिट डाल लोगे, जब जब किसी क्राइसिस में नहीं हो सकता, लेकिन अगर ये आदत डल जाए, सोने से पहले या उठने के बाद अगर आप कुछ मिनट ध्यान दो, तो आपकी जिंदगी में एक बहुत ज्यादा संतुलन आएगा, आप अच्छे इंसान बनोगे। इमेजिन करो अगर स्कूल में असेंबली में जब आप पहुंचो और असेंबली सबसे पहले असेंबली में कहा जाए, ओके चिल्ड्रन, ऑल ऑफ यू क्वाइटली सिट एंड शट योर आईज and say gratitude for all that you have. And think about yourself, how can you do a good day today? So any good thought, any good deed, even if it's just 5 minutes, that means you watch yourself, you serve yourself. Now you might, when I say you watch yourself, what do I mean by watch yourself? What do you watch? What do you watch? You watch your breath. You watch your breath. You watch your breath come and go. Watch your breath come and go, because the breath comes and goes. The breath is not by asking, आओ सांस लो, सांस छोड़ दो, सांस लो, सांस छोड़ दो, ऐसा नहीं है. It comes naturally. All you have to do is just observe it on its own when it comes and goes. Once you get into this habit, it will last you a lifelong habit. It will turn into a meditation as you grow. So this is my message for this Children's Day.
Thank you. Bhavini, Vita, thank you, mommy. Bhavini.
Hello, good evening, ma'am.
Good evening.
Ma'am, I wanted to ask you the question that what kind of activities make you keep the child in you alive today? Maybe some special food?
I think it's looking for joy around you. It's trying to wanting to share joy around you. So reading positive, it's attitude, it's positivity. And as I told you, it's linked with my observation. If you get into this habit of self-reflection in the morning, it inspires you. It makes you happy. It keeps you cheerful. It keeps you charged. It keeps you charged. It's like your battery. आईफोन को रात को चार्जिंग पे लगाते हो ना, ऐसे ही आप मॉर्निंग में जब आप अपनी मुठ के अपने आप को चार्ज करते हो और रात को अपने आप को चार्ज करते हुए सुलाते हो. You charge yourself before you sleep and you recharge again in the morning. You are charged the whole night in mind, body and spirit. So you're charged in spirit. That means you're happy. What is the basic what is real childhood? Childhood is happiness. Child is cheerfulness. So if you're happy and cheerful and you charge yourself, you're always happy. That means tum happy, parents happy, ghar happy, friends happy. तुम happy. तो तुम दूसरे को भी happy बनाते हो. लेकिन तुम सुबह उठते हो, रोते हुए उठते हो, उदास होते हो, कर्सिंग होते हो, तुम सारे घर का वातावरण दूषित करते हो. लेकिन अब सब मॉर्निंग में जब गुड मॉर्निंग करते हो, तो प्यार से करते हो, इज्जत से करते हो, माँ बाप के पांव छूते हो, उनका आशीर्वाद लेते हो, यू आर ऑलरेडी चार्ज्ड. सो अपने आप को स्पिरिचुअली चार्ज रखो. दैट इज व्हाट कीप्स यू हैप्पी. सो व्हाट आई डू इज आई कीप माई सेल्फ स्पिरिचुअली चार्ज्ड.
Thank you, ma'am.
Lovely. Blessed. Thank you. Trishla.
Greetings, ma'am.
Greetings.
Ma'am, I want to ask you that what was your aim when you were a child?
At that time, my aim was to bring a lot of joy to my parents. That was my immediate aim always, to do anything which will make my parents happy. But as I grew up, I got my career, I thought of how could I make them happier. But in the childhood, it was to do everything which makes my parents. It was very innocent. Child's innocence. उस वक्त ये नहीं था आप ये बनेंगे बाद में. मेरे parents, so that means I will not do anything which will make my parents unhappy.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Yes, thank you. Srinidhi.
Greetings, ma'am.
Greetings.
Ma'am, I wanted to ask you that if you had a chance to relive any memorable moment of your childhood, what with your siblings, what would it be?
I would never miss a meal. I would love to be with them as long as I can. Be with friends. I think time is very precious क्योंकि childhood बड़ी जल्दी भाग जाता है. So
हाँ,
इसलिए कोई चीज ऐसा मिस नहीं करो जहां फैमिली टुगेदरनेस हो. कभी मिस मत करो. क्योंकि जैसे मैं आज आपसे पूछ रही हूँ मेमोरीज, बड़े होके आप भी पूछोगे. तो ये जितनी अच्छी तरह आप मेमोरीज को अपना प्रेजेंट जियोगे, उतनी फॉन्ड मेमोरीज आपका बैंक बनता जाएगा. So make your bank of memories full of joy and happiness by being loving, caring, respectful, and being of help to each other.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Yes. Sridhar, beta.
Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening.
And first of all, wish you the most happiest and prosperous Diwali. Ma'am, my first question is that what inspired you to be an IPS officer, or you were willing to be an IPS officer since your childhood?
My IPS came, my service came, career feeling came as I grew up to be what is the career I want. That comes around when you are in school, about 13, 14, 12. When children, teacher would ask you, बड़े होके क्या बनोगे? तो मैं बोलती थी, मैं गवर्नमेंट में जाऊंगी, मैं काम करूंगी, मैं गवर्नमेंट में जाऊंगी. उस वक्त ये नहीं था मैं पुलिस ऑफिसर बनूंगी या IPS में जाऊं, मैं गवर्नमेंट में जाऊंगी. तो एक तरफ लक्ष्य आ जाता है तो फिर आप रास्ता ढूंढने लगते हो, मैं गवर्नमेंट में जाऊंगी. इसी कोई कहे मैं टीचर बनूंगी तो आप उस लक्ष्य में चले जाते. कोई कहेगी मैं अपने डैडी का बिजनेस, मम्मी का बिजनेस चलाऊंगी तो आप उस एंगल से चले जाते. मैं डॉक्टर बनूंगी, आप उसके अकॉर्डिंगली सब्जेक्ट्स लेते हो. तो आप सब्जेक्ट्स भी फिर वो चूज करते हो जो आप बनना चाहते हो. तो बाय द टाइम यू आर 12, 13, जैसे आपकी एज है, आपके मन में ऑलरेडी आ चुका है कि मुझे क्या बनना है. और मैंने IAS ऑफिसर बनना है, IPS ऑफिसर बनना है, टीचर बनना है, प्रोफेशनल बनना है, मेडिकल में जाना है, इंजीनियरिंग करनी है, बिजनेस में जाना है, एजुकेशन में जाना है, इंफॉर्मेशन टेक्नोलॉजी में जाना है. आप उसके अकॉर्डिंगली वो सब्जेक्ट्स लेने लग जाते हो और उसी पर ध्यान लगने लगते हो. धीरे धीरे आपको वो कॉर्नर ग्रुप मिलने लग जाता है जो आप बनना चाहते हो. सब्जेक्ट भी चूज करते हो, कॉलेज भी चूज करते हो, टीचर्स भी चूज करते हो, यूनिवर्सिटी भी चूज करते हो और उस पर लगे रहते हो. दिस इज व्हाट हैपेंड विद मी. आई चोज माय सब्जेक्ट्स अकॉर्डिंगली. I chose the NCC accordingly. I kept playing competitive tennis. You see, वो लक्ष्य पे चले गए. Physical fitness, mental tenacity, willpower, determination, stamina. So ये सब चीजें उस ओर जाती गई और एकदम if you keep developing accordingly step by step without any stress, without any anxiety, but enjoying the process. What I would suggest to my children is enjoy the process because ये time वापस नहीं आने वाला. While you are moving towards your goal, or you want to keep enjoying the process of togetherness with your family, and your friends. And that is where you will move towards, but keep going towards that goal, step by step, without worrying, without anxiety, because everything cannot be fast forwarded. It's one class at a time, one day at a time. But every day, it's a year, then it becomes weeks to months to years of hard work. And it develops, takes you towards that goal.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yes, thank you. Virutika, beta, Virutika.
Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening.
So we all know that as children we love to play games. So my question is that what was your favorite game to play as a child, and do you still enjoy playing it today?
Yes, my favorite game was my tennis sports. Sports was in the family. Tennis was a family game. My father used to be a regular tennis player and he used to play competitive tennis regularly. He used to love tennis. He used to watch tennis. He used to do videographing of tennis. He used to love tennis. So tennis, and therefore the whole family was on the tennis court in the evening. My mother was on the tennis court. My family was on the tennis court. All of us from school to tennis, tennis to home. It was never home to school to home. It was school to the tennis club, and then tennis club to the home. So that is how it was. My family. Now I don't play tennis, but I stopped playing tennis, which was a wrong thing to do. I should have kept up playing my tennis, because if I kept my tennis going, my shoulders would have remained strong. But because I stopped playing tennis, and my shoulders became weak, and now I have to exercise to keep my shoulders strong. So I would suggest, because of my my work, because of my 24 hours of work in the policing, and similarly later on even in Pondicherry, I did not pay attention to playing, because playing meant 1 hour of the peak time of the day. But I should have found some time to play, maybe once in a week, which I did not. I was lazy, maybe. So I think if you were a player in the childhood, it's a good thing to continue to play games. Play a game, even if not regularly, once in a week also, or twice in a week is a good thing to do.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you.
Apurva, beta.
Yes, ma'am. Good evening, ma'am. First of all, ma'am, my question to you is that, like many a times in our life, many opportunities come in front of us, but we are actually not able to set our priorities. We have several opportunities, several priorities, and after choosing one out of them, we further regret that why I chose that, why I didn't choose that. I could be better in that. So, how to actually set our priorities, and how to make our proper management of those opportunities?
The way to priority, to my mind, would be clarity in thinking. So best is to keep a paper and a pencil with you, and say what do you want and why do you want, and then tick mark. And then if there's a comparison, then do a tick mark. Then you see the comparison clearly. It's like analysis. So while the mind will keep crisscrossing, but if you write down on a piece of paper pros and cons, if I take this opportunity, this is the benefit, this is what it demands. If I take this is what it demands. What can I give and what I can't? I think then you come to the conclusion. It's like an arithmetic sometimes. So your gut feeling will tell you analysis, and then you still may choose something. Then you know why you chose this, because you had this piece of paper to say cross what is A and what is B and what is C, and how many marks you get out of it. I think it's your own self-analysis, and nobody knows better than you yourself. However, if you are in doubt, and if it's a tie, it's both of them are 10 over, 10 plus 10 here, 10 plus 10 there. What do? Then you can go consult your elders and say, here's my choice. What do you think? Then you can go to your teacher or your parent or the elder whom you like to consult and guide. Then you take guidance. But still the decision has to be your own.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Write down on a piece of paper.
Lovely. Thank you. GV, Krita, beta.
Good evening, ma'am. Ma'am, thank you so much for being an inspiration to all of us. Ma'am, I wanted to know who was your inspiration when you were small?
My inspiration was love in the home, the joy in the home. There was so much of joy in the home. The home joy was my inspiration, which propelled me, and the expectations even of my parents from me were my inspiration. They expected me to be what I am today and what I became today, so or in the past. So I think that was living up to their expectation was my inspiration. But my books were inspiration. In fact, I never read my school books from academics point of view or examination point of view. I read my books from knowledge point of view. What knowledge am I getting? What wisdom am I getting? Who said what? So there was so much of there is so much of wisdom and knowledge in your NCERT books around you. And then, of course, what is happening around you? You have two choices. You can take negativity, you can take concern, anxiety, stress, or you take positivity. It depends on what side you look at. So I think if you look at positivity, positive attitude, read such like self-help books, look at YouTube programs which are positive, the more positivity you listen, the more positive you become. your whole attitude be, how do I think positive? मैं ठीक कैसे सोचूं, अच्छा कैसे सोचूं, मैं possibility का कैसे सोचूं, not impossibility, possibility, effort के बारे में सोचूं. It's right action, reading life stories, autobiographies, reading right good books. So your school books, your other books, seeing good movies, inspirational movies. Don't, rather than wasting time. Once in a while, entertainment is fine. It's a lot of fun. But if you focus on inspiration, then you will go to lives, situations, happenings, friends, and then you will also be very careful what you say, what you do, what you eat, who you spend time with. So your time would become very productive.
Thank you, ma'am.
जी, thank you. Rukvit, beta. Rukvit. Rukvit. He's gone somewhere. Bhanu, bache.
Ma'am, I'm back. I'm back.
Wait, okay. Okay, I'll come to you again. Bache, Bhanu. Yes, Rukvit.
Good evening, ma'am. My question to you is that what is your favorite book and why do you enjoy reading it?
Say it again, beta. We couldn't hear you.
What is your favorite book and why do you enjoy reading it?
Mommy, your favorite book?
I was a student of English honors. I read a lot of literature. That was English literature.
Why do you enjoy reading it?
It gives you different worlds. You may be not in that world, but you're sitting and watching that world. You get the description, you get those ideas, you get those dreams, and you get those. So that's how it opens up your world to a new fantasy. But it also gives you language, it gives you vocabulary, right? It also very inspirational. So reading books which are full of imaginary, see, and then it also gives you, transfers you to different worlds without being there. So books transfer you. So you can read poetry, you can read literature, you can read novels, you can read like for instance, when I was a honor student, when I was reading Ayn Rand, the famous author Ayn Rand, and I read her book. I read her book, The Fountainhead, very thick book, The Fountainhead. There was a character in this called Howard Roark. There was a character in that book, Howard Roark. Howard Roark, and I was probably only 14, 15 years old at that time. And when I read that book, Howard Roark was an architect in the book. And he would create no walls. He would create buildings with no walls. A building with no walls. And that was considered as blasphemy, because how do you have a building with no walls? You don't create. He was creating no barriers. His whole object was a barrierless living, an open, transparent living where the free flow of air and sunshine comes in. And he went against the architecture of his time. See, it suited me because I was also going against the architecture of my time as a woman. At that time, as a woman, my architecture was to grow up, be beautiful, get married, and have a dowry and settle down. My architecture was not to, but grow up, find a career for myself, create my own home, and take along everybody. And see, so therefore it fitted me. And see the character, I could relate with that character. So it all depends on the characters which inspire you sometimes, even in the fiction and the non-fiction.
Wow. Mama, what is the most exciting thing you have done recently?
Your voice is not clear. Rupit, I think we'll give another chance.
Yes. Bhanu, beta.
Yes. Yes, Bhanu.
Good evening, ma'am.
Yes, Bhanu.
I would like to ask you a question, ma'am.
Yes.
What is the activity you've done most of the time in your childhood, ma'am?
I think I've only basically read and played. My activity has all been reading and playing. Playing and reading. Reading and playing. Okay. And while reading, there was a classroom or my world of my own. As I explained to Rukvit, every book you read, you're opening up a world of your own. And playing means lots of friends. So I had friends on the playground. And then the reading was a world of my own. and my own imagination. It gave me thoughts. It fed me a lot of ideas and new ideas. So it was, my whole focus was reading and playing.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you for the answer.
Thank you. We are going to take 2 more questions. We have 3 more questions, then we conclude. Then I'll share my little thought with you, and then we conclude. Okay. Sai Ashrita Kumar, beta, I'll come to you. Sai Ashrita. Yes, bache.
नमस्ते मैम।
नमस्ते
मैम, आप स्पोर्ट्स में भी बहुत अच्छे थे, टेनिस में, और आप पढ़ाई में भी बहुत अच्छे थे। आप टाइम कैसे मैनेज करते थे?
कोई तीसरी चीज नहीं थी, कोई तीसरी चीज नहीं थी, कोई फालतू की टाइम वेस्ट नहीं था। फ्रेंड्स भी बहुत थे, लेकिन काम की चीज थी, हर चीज काम से, समय से, टाइम टेबल से। सो टाइम टेबल मैनेजमेंट बहुत अच्छी थी, मेरी टाइम मैनेजमेंट बहुत अच्छी थी। खेलने वक्त खेलना, पढ़ने वक्त पढ़ना, और जब फैमिली के साथ है तो फैमिली के साथ। सो आई थिंक मेरी टाइम मैनेजमेंट बहुत अच्छी थी। ट्रैवल करना है तो पढ़ना है, एंजॉय भी करना है, ये नहीं है। तो मैं एंजॉय बहुत कुछ थी जो मैं करती थी, क्योंकि मैं दिल से करती थी, लगन से करती थी, उसमें एंजॉयमेंट भी बड़ी मिलती थी। और मुझे एक प्रेशर नहीं लगता था कि ये मुसीबत है, कहती मैं अपने किसी चीज को मुसीबत नहीं समझ के उसको एंजॉय। सो इन लाइफ तुम्हारा ये उम्र एंजॉय करने के लिए और करने के लिए भी। एंजॉय करना, सी, एंजॉय सोना नहीं, एंजॉय करना, करना और एंजॉय। सो इट्स लाइक दिस।
और मैम,
बेटा,
अभी
जी, अच्छा, ask a quick question, we'll club it, there are 2 more children.
हाँ मैम, लाइक अभी के जमाने में जैसे हम बहुत हार्डवर्क कर रहे हैं, पूरा लाइक अभी जमाना पूरा कॉम्पिटिटिव हो चुका है। बहुत बच्चे बहुत हार्डवर्क करने के बाद भी लाइक अपना एम नहीं पा पाते, तो वो लोग डिप्रेस होकर गलत कदम उठाते हैं। उनके ऊपर आपका क्या एडवाइस है?
पहली बात तो आपको इम्पोर्टेंट है अपना टाइम मैनेजमेंट करना, टाइम टेबल बनाना, टाइम के टेबल के अनुसार बनाना, अपने माइंड को स्थिर करना और कूल रखना। इसीलिए मैंने सुबह का टाइम बोला है, रात को सोने से पहले सुबह उठ के थोड़ी देर समय अपने आप को दो, धीरे धीरे अपने विचार को सोचो, देखो, प्रेयर करो, शांत करो। शांत अपने माइंड को शांत करने से ही बहुत अच्छा होगा। और धन्यवाद करो, क्योंकि उसके बाद जब आप धन्यवाद लाओगे, प्रार्थना लाओगे, समर्पण लाओगे, मन में शांति लाओगे, ये ट्रेनिंग से होगा। मैं बोल रही हूँ, ये थियोरी है, ये बोल रही हूँ, ये पढ़ना नहीं है, करना है, प्रैक्टिस करनी है। सो सुबह उठ के, शाम को उठ के, शांत मन से चाहे मंत्र उच्चारण करो, लेकिन अपने आप पर ध्यान दो, सांस पर खासकर। जब आपको पता चलेगा मेरा माइंड कितना उड़ता जा रहा है। सो जितना जितना आप रोज प्रैक्टिस करते जाओगे, चाहे 5 मिनट से शुरू करो, 10 मिनट से, धीरे धीरे चाहे 15 मिनट से करो, तो ये आपको शांत रखेगा और फिर आप हार्ड वर्क करोगे, रिजल्ट मिलेगा। जरूरी नहीं वही मिलेगा, लेकिन रिजल्ट मिलेगा, ना होने से बहुत बेटर मिलेगा।
थैंक यू मैम।
Thank you. We have 2 more questions now. One is from Kumar and the other is from
You
Angel.
got 3 hands, bete. Let's have these last 3 hands.
Ane has asked. Ane has asked.
Okay,
So,
all right.
Kumar, beta, your question.
Greetings, ma'am. First of all, when I had the book reading session with you, at that time I was in school and now I am in college. So I just got transition from school to college. I got admission in Hindu College, University of Delhi. Now I am in Delhi also. Very soon I am asking Shakira ma'am, very soon if I get chance, I will come and meet you. And my question is that I came from school to college. Till school, I was with my parents, family, everyone. Now suddenly there is a transition. Now I'm alone. So according to you, how should I cope up with this? Because I'm alone, my life has changed a little bit. Now I have to manage everything of mine. So what is your suggestion about this?
That's a tough question. You need some mentoring. अपना कोई मेंटर नहीं है, टीचर है, कोई रिलेटिव है, कोई फैमिली है?
Ma'am, I just wanted that you also once were a child, you also shifted from the family. So how you managed it all for yourself?
Yes, I also shifted to a hostel after my graduation to Punjab University, Chandigarh. But I kept engrossed with my studies, with my playing, and with the time I had to myself very well better spent. So I think I was very careful towards my goal. मैंने लक्ष्य को नजर रखा कि मैं यहाँ आई क्यों हूँ और मैं वो ही करूं जो मुझे उस लक्ष्य की तरफ ले जाए. इसलिए मुझे डिस्ट्रैक्शंस और डिविएशन नहीं होने दी. तो मेरी और भी फ्रेंड्स थी, वो डिस्ट्रैक्शंस में भी चलेगी, डिविएशंस में भी चलेगी, लेकिन मैंने अपना ध्यान जरूर रखा कि मैं यहाँ घर छोड़ के हॉस्टल में क्यों आई हूँ. मैं आई हूँ पढ़ने के लिए, खूब अच्छी तरह अपनी कामयाबी करने के लिए और हासिल करने के लिए. तो इसलिए मैं पढ़ती रहती, खेलती रही. मैंने अपना ध्यान रखा, अपना खुद का ध्यान रखा. मेन चीज है अपना खुद का ध्यान रखना. और खुद का ध्यान रखने के लिए मैंने जो आपको सुबह की और शाम की साधना बोली है, अपने आप में थोड़ा ये रखना जरूरी है कि मैं, और अपने आप से बात करना. Ask yourself, am I exactly doing? And then you can do mid-course corrections also. ये नहीं है कि आपको खुद आपकी आत्मा बताएगी कि आप कौन सी चीज का ध्यान ज्यादा रखें और कौन सी चीज कम रखें. So I think you can be your self mentor and guide also.
Thank you, ma'am.
But you have to be your self guide.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. For one more thing, because I was in school, till school we had Children's Day celebration and all. Today, literally, till yesterday, I was not remembering that tomorrow we have Children's Day. In the group, we got the message that we are the BRS family celebrating Children's Day. I am so thankful to you that you just recalled me. Thank you, ma'am.
You remain our children.
Yes.
Thank you, ma'am.
You may keep growing up, but this will always, BRS family will continue to celebrate as you will grow up. So children enter as you become adults. You remain the family of BRS, and as I said, our children.
Thank you, बच्चे. अच्छा, Angel.
Anne said she उसको नहीं बोला गया, वो ये बोल रहा है.
अच्छा, Angel के बाद Angel के बाद we'll take Anay. ठीक है?
Anay last.
जी.
Good evening, ma'am.
Yes.
Happy Children's Day to
Happy
everyone.
children.
And ma'am, I'm really blessed to be a part of this group. And my question to you is, as I'm in 10th class, so sometimes there are moments when I'm stressed a lot for my board exams. So what's your advice for us to overcome this pressure of exam?
You need to calm yourself down every morning and night. All of you have to calm yourself down. Self-calming is important. Self-talk is important. Self-observation is important. Maybe you write a daily diary and write your thoughts if you can. And keep the diary to yourself. Or you write it on your computer, it's up to you. But you have to get into a habit of self-direction. And self-talk, self-reflection, self-observation. सेल्फ का तभी होगा जब आप चुप करके अपने आप में बैठोगे और अपने आप को आंखें बंद करके देखोगे मेरे से क्या हो रहा है. अपने आप से सुनने लग जाओ. Listen to your inner voice. Get into this habit and practice. Listening to your inner voice. How do you listen to your inner voice? By quietude of your mind. जब तक आप माइंड को ठंडा क्वाइट नहीं करोगे, वो बात कैसे करेगा आपसे? आपसे बात करवाता रहेगा, काम कराता रहेगा, लेकिन तुमको तुम्हारी बात नहीं सुनेगा. जब तुम चुप कर जाओगे तब तुम्हारा माइंड सुनेगा तुम्हें, क्योंकि तुम माइंड को बोलोगे चुप कर, अब तुम मेरी बात सुन. You will quieten your mind and then you will tell your mind what you want.
जी, thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Abhigya, जी, thank you. Anay, जी बच्चे, that's the last question, final question. जी बच्चे, Anay.
Good evening, ma'am. Good evening, ma'am. Ma'am, happy Diwali, ma'am. Happy Diwali. Ma'am, thank you. You invited us in this meeting, ma'am. Ma'am, our question was that, ma'am, how did you decorated your house or home in Diwalis?
We decorated Diwali. We all collectively celebrated. We had a lot of visitors. We exchanged a lot of gifts, and we did a lot of Deepavali. And we had some wonderful magic diyas. Do you know what magic diyas we had? Magic diya was not oil lamps. It was water lamp. We just had to put water into that diya and it got lit. because it had a little conductor inside, small little conductor. I will show you the diya if I have. I'll show you that magic diya, which we made in our India Vision Foundation project, where the prisoners made that diya, where you just put water and it gets lit and remains lit. There's no oil required. And we have made some diyas from our prison project where prisoners made. I'll show you the diya right now. Here. This is the diya we made. See, it has water in it. It has only water. There's no oil in this, but it's been lit ever since then. And it has a little conductor in it. As you put water in this, it gets lit. And it's been lit for the last 48 hours. So हमने इस तरीके से दिए लगाए, दिए बनाए, और ये हम लोग अब see this is lit. Can you see it?
Yes,
It is called Sai Baba diya, ma'am.
अच्छा.
साई बाबा ने तो पानी से दिए जलाए थे, वो उनकी स्टोरी
But
है.
तो ये साई बाबा, ये साई बाबा
का दिया है.
ठीक है. So ये साई बाबा दिया, ये सिर्फ पानी से ही है. और ये इसके अंदर एक कंडक्टर है जिसमें उन्होंने प्रिजनर्स ने छोटा सा कंडक्टर बनाया और इस तरीके से ये बनाया. ये खुद इन्होंने बनाया. हमने ऐसे दीपमाला की, कोई ऑयल नहीं, कोई पोल्यूशन नहीं.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
चलो बेटा.
Should we conclude now?
हाँ, Bhanu is the last, is it?
Bhanu has asked, but you want to ask something else, beta?
She's asked. So go ahead, wrap up.
Ji.
Ma'am, I also have these lamps, ma'am.
There you are. Excellent. Shabash. तो वही दिया. ऐसा ही? ऐसे ही है?
Yes, ma'am.
ऐसे दिए जलाओ, ऐसे दिए मैजिक दिए लगाओ, जहां जहां मार्केट में मिलता है, किसी की भी नाम से, चाहे साई बाबा दिया बोलते हैं या दूसरा, get into these kinds of diyas और ये जलाओ. हाँ जी. Yes, I know.
Okay, we'll conclude now. I want to thank all of you because I think it was very special for each one of us and very special for me. It just so many fond memories of, and there's so much more in my heart. So thank you. But leaving you all with a little thought and then we'll conclude. You know, children, in the end, we've suddenly spoken about magic. And this word has been with me since morning. I don't know why, and we've just spoken about magic. You know, you say abracadabra, abracadabra when you want to do magic, है ना? Abracadabra करते हैं ना with a magic wand. Do you know? I wanted to know the real meaning of this word. It's actually, I looked up, it's from this is what now the research says. I could be a little wrong here and there, so pardon me for that. It's actually from the Aramaic word before Hebrew phrase, and it's from Abra-Kedabra, which actually means I will create as I speak. So what you're saying and your magic wand, you're creating that, right? Yes? That's what you can do with your life. That's what you can do with your thoughts. That's what you can do with your creativity, with your career, with your studies, with your physical fitness, with your mind. You can create magic and it's in your own hands. The magic of light, the magic of positivity, the magic of transformation, the magic of self-discovery. You all have a lot of hidden treasure inside you. You just have to wave the magic wand. So do that.
Very soon, Saina, my children, we are going to have a very good Baatcheet program with Shiv Khera. I think end of the month. And we will be sending you an invite. Join the group. I want you all to listen to Shiv Khera. Uski book is based on We Can Win. And it's very positive. It's all about mental attitude. It will inspire you and educate you a lot. So do not miss the Baatcheet program coming on 29th of November. Am I right, Saina?
27th.
27. Mark your time calendar. 27 September at 6 p.m.
27 November.
Oh, sorry, 27 November at 6 o'clock. All of you must listen to Shiv Khera's program. All of you children. It's a great message for all of you. He's a very positive thinker और आपको बहुत कुछ सिखा के जाएंगे.
जी. So create that magic in your life, and lots of love to all of you. And lots of love to our demonstrative learning family.
Last but not the least, take this thought. एक एक मिनट आपका कीमती है. जो चला गया वो आना नहीं है. जो आने वाला है वो अब वेट कर रहा है, लेकिन इस वक्त आपके हाथ में आने वाला नहीं है. इस समय सिर्फ आपके पास यही है जो इस वक्त आपके पास है. इसको क्या करते हो? Every moment be in the present. What am I doing with now? What am I doing with now? What am I doing with now? Because every time you will be in the now. When tomorrow becomes today, it will be now. So you cannot say, अच्छा आज मैं जाने देती हूँ, कल तो कोई बात नहीं. लेकिन आपको पता होना चाहिए ये चला गया, ये वापस नहीं आने वाला. What am I doing with now? So plan properly, whether you have fun, enjoy. You should know why you're doing what you're doing. Consciously. Conscious living is your key. Conscious living. Consciously living in the now and doing the things you want to do now. And in the want, doing the right things now. And being caring, loving, reading, playing, being with family, these moments will not come back. See, school से college चले गए, college से अभी university जाने वाले हो, university के बाद job में जाने वाले हो, ये दिन वापस नहीं आने वाला. इसलिए अब में रहो, अब में खुश रहो, अब में मेहनत करो, अब में लगन लगाओ, अब में अच्छी विचार लाओ, अब में ध्यान लगाओ, अब में अपने आप से बात करो, अब में अपनी मानसिकता को ध्यान रखो, अब में अपने आप को इंस्पायर करो, अब में, in the now. In the now. And watch your behavior, watch your language, watch your words, watch your habits, watch them. Watch yourself is being your own watch. I think that's the message on this Children's Day. Thank you, Saina.
Thank
you,
you.
Shakira and Shivani.
Thank you.
And Sujata
हंस
and
के खेलते रहो बच्चों.
and
जय
Sumit.
हरिमा. Thank you.
All
Thank
of you.
you.
The team.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Our
Have a
regards
good
to your
Children's Day.
parents.
Thank
Lots
you.
of regards to all your parents. Thank you. जय हरिमा बच्चों. जय हरिमा. Thank you.